Hello everyone, welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Now channel. As always, this time I have appeared with the mysterious soap opera, so don't delay, like and subscribe now and stay tuned. We begin with some shocking news as Hope chastises Daphne for kissing Carter. The dark-haired beauty refers to him as the love of your life, and Hope doesn't refute her. Finn and Luna avoid sharing their secrets while Hope and Daphne clash. She claims that Daphne has actually known that from the beginning. Hope essentially responds, "How very dare," when Daphne mentions how angry Carter is with what the two of you have done. Hope adds, "You have no idea what Carter and I have in common." However, Daphne keeps implying that there is more going on with him than his girlfriend is prepared to admit. The blonde asks just what her new opponent is hinting at when Daphne notes that Hope got what she wanted and that her line is back. And before correcting the record, Hope almost puts the pieces together and realizes there is a connection between the women as Daphne repeats Steffi's frequently stated talking points. Hope, whose eyes are on the edge of tears, says, "If you are going to accuse me of running after Carter and pretending to care about him, you'd be wrong. Don't steal my affection and change it to suit your twisted story. You won't make another move for that man because I care about him more than you realize." Finn informs Steffi that he must tell her about Luna and the location of his daughter. They end up conversing in circles instead. He apologizes by saying, "I've upset you and I've turned your life upside down again." Steffi informs her husband that nothing he says will make her feel any differently, as though she is aware that Ridge and Taylor are wondering how the younger couple will handle this at that precise moment. She isn't leaving him even though her parents urge her to. Steffi trash talks Poppy, who deceived Finn, kept him in the dark, and now left him to deal with this unexpected turn of events. She claims that the same woman who tried to kill me, your wife, is his daughter. Short aside, who speaks in this manner? Is she under the impression that Finn is unaware that she is his wife? And don't worry if you dislike asides and comments in your recaps, Candace will be back on Monday after a well-earned break. Steffi has another flashback in which she is being kept captive and Finn rushes to her aid. There are a lot of flashbacks in this episode. She says, "I don't blame you for being Luna's father because your love saved me. You're Sheila's son, and I don't blame you." She wishes it weren't true, but she understands how difficult and perplexing this is for him. Steffi asks, "I know she's your daughter, but can we just stop thinking about Luna? She's imprisoned, after all, so they won't ever have to consider her again." "Is that possible?" she pleads. "Will you please?" Though he remains silent, Finn is conflicted about telling her that Luna is living at Bill's. Bill discovers Luna sobbing softly on the couch as she reflects about her most recent meeting with her father, Finn. He acknowledges that he sort of is given the situation, and she praises him for always feeling accountable for her. Bill acknowledges that perhaps she hasn't told him everything yet and that he wasn't totally sure he could trust her. She acknowledges that she feels like I have a real future where she will be able to see her family again. Luna informs Bill that everything in her life has changed. She says, "What if my mom isn't the only parent I have left? What if my dad is waiting for me out there?" He is aware of her strong desire to deny that Tom is her father, but she must come to terms with the reality. She has another flashback in which she discovers Finn is her father. However, similar to Steffi and Finn, Luna doesn't really share anything about her new father with Bill, seemingly laying the groundwork for a lot of revelations tomorrow. As tensions rise between Hope and Daphne, the air crackles with intensity. Hope, always poised and composed, finds herself in an uncharacteristic emotional upheaval as Daphne confronts her over Carter. The accusation that Daphne hurls, that Carter is the love of your life, hangs heavy in the air. Hope does not deny it, instead, she tacitly confirms that Daphne has known this truth all along. It is a revelation that shifts the power dynamic between them, a subtle yet momentous shift that leaves Daphne emboldened and Hope exposed. Daphne, ever perceptive, remarks on Carter's unhappiness. It is a strategic move, one that chips away at Hope's carefully maintained exterior. Hope lashes out, unwilling to accept that Daphne could possibly understand the depth of what she shares with Carter. "You know nothing about what Carter and I share," she insists, her voice trembling with conviction. Yet Daphne presses on, unafraid of the storm she is stirring. She points out that Hope has gotten her way, her line is back, her professional aspirations fulfilled. But at what cost? Hope's temper flares as she questions what Daphne is truly implying. The tension between them thickens, their verbal sparring intensifying. Daphne echoes the familiar rhetoric of Steffi, almost as if channeling the other woman's long-standing grievances against Hope. It is in this moment, standing at the precipice of realization, that Hope nearly pieces together the deeper connection between Daphne and Steffi. But before she can, she sets the record straight. "If you are going to accuse me of running after Carter and pretending to care about him, you'd be wrong," Hope says, her voice a mix of anger and pain. Tears threaten to spill, but she holds them back, standing firm. "Do not take my love and twist it to fit your warped narrative. I care about that man more than you know, so you are not going to make another play for him." Meanwhile, Finn is caught in a battle of his own. With Steffi by his side, he hesitates, struggling with the weight of the truth he must reveal. He opens his mouth, prepared to share the truth about Luna, but instead, the conversation takes a different turn. "I've upset you and I've turned your life upside down again," he says, guilt written all over his face. Steffi listens, her expression unreadable. Her parents, Ridge and Taylor, have already cast their doubts, questioning whether this revelation will break her marriage apart. But Steffi stands resolute. "Nothing you say could change how I feel," she assures him, her voice steady. Despite the pressure from her family, she refuses to walk away. Yet, the name Poppy surfaces, and Steffi's composure falters. She cannot contain her disdain for the woman who deceived Finn, keeping him in the dark all these years. "She lied to you," Steffi declares, frustration evident in her tone. "She let you believe something that wasn't true. And now, we have to deal with the fallout." But the real revelation cuts deeper than lies. It is the truth about Luna that shakes them both to the core. Steffi's mind flashes back to one of the darkest moments of her life, being held captive, the looming threat of death hanging over her, and Finn bursting through the door, a hero to her rescue. "Your love saved me," she murmurs, eyes clouded with emotion. "So I don't blame you for being Luna's father. I don't blame you for being Sheila's son." It is a painful admission, one that carries the weight of acceptance. She wishes it weren't true, that there wasn't another connection binding Finn to the chaos of his past. But she understands the turmoil he is facing. "I know she's your daughter, but can we just get Luna out of our minds?" she pleads. "She's locked up in prison. We don't have to think about her again. Can we do that? Please?" Finn remains silent. His heart is torn between loyalty to his wife and the obligation he now feels toward Luna. He knows he cannot keep the truth from Steffi forever, that Luna is not locked away, that she is not out of their lives. But the words fail him, and so he says nothing. Across town, Luna finds herself in the comforting presence of Bill, a father figure of sorts, though not by blood. She sits on his couch, tears quietly slipping down her cheeks as she reflects on the earth-shattering discovery that Finn is her father. The weight of it settles heavily on her shoulders, a mix of fear and longing consuming her thoughts. Bill watches her carefully, his protective instincts kicking in. "You know," he says, "I've always felt responsible for you." Luna looks up at him, her eyes brimming with gratitude. "You have been," she acknowledges. "You always made sure I was okay." But Bill isn't one to let things slide so easily. "I wasn't sure if I could trust you," he admits, his tone measured. "Maybe you haven't told me everything." Luna hesitates, her hands twisting in her lap. She has held on to this secret, uncertain of how to share it, unsure of how it will change things. But the uncertainty gnaws at her. My whole life has changed, she confesses. What if my mom isn't my only living parent? What if my father is out there waiting for me? Bill exhales sharply, leaning forward. You want to believe Tom isn't your father, he says knowingly. But you have to accept the truth. Truth. It is such a simple word, yet it carries such weight. Luna flashes back to the moment she learned the truth, that Finn, not Tom, is her father. It replays in her mind like a broken record, the reality of it refusing to settle in. And yet, just as Finn kept the truth from Steffi, Luna keeps it from Bill. And so, as the day ends, the stage is set for the secrets to unravel, for the truths to finally be spoken. Hope and Daphne remain at odds, their battle for Carter far from over. Finn wrestles with his loyalty to Steffi and his newfound responsibility toward Luna. And Luna, caught between two identities, remains silent, though the truth burns within her. Tomorrow, the truth will come to light. And when it does, the fallout will be inevitable.